Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Voices of Web3, where we cover all things crypto, blockchain, and Web3. And today on Voice of Crypto, like always, we're going to be taking a look at price action updates as well as the top news from the crypto, Web3, and blockchain space. We will also be releasing a Voices of Web3 episode really soon with a really special guest, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, if you haven't checked out Voice of Crypto's social media channels, please go ahead and check out Voice of Crypto on X, LinkedIn, uh, on Facebook, Instagram, Binance, as well as, of course, our YouTube, where we do a lot of multimedia content and get some of the best people from the Web3 space. That said, if you haven't already joined our Telegram channel, make sure that you visit Voice of Crypto's announcement group on Telegram, where we keep posting live updates from the Web3 and crypto space, as well as give a lot of key informations before the market moves. So stay tuned to know about the top price action as well as the top altcoins and how they've moved in the market today, and take a look at the top news in the crypto market. Without further ado, we will take a deep dive into the crypto market where we're seeing quite a bit of movement as compared to yesterday. Seems like the trade volumes are back above the 80 billion mark. In fact, the global crypto market cap has also retraced the 1.9 trillion mark, which it had recently achieved but had dropped down again as Bitcoin retested the lower 51K US dollar mark. The global crypto market cap saw a bit of a dip, but at the moment we can see that the crypto market has in fact risen by over 1% on a daily basis. The market volumes have while deteriorated in the last 1 day or so. There's a 6% decline in the total crypto market's 24-hour volume, but they've still maintained above the 80 billion mark, which does present a lot of activity in the market. However, DeFi volumes had dropped a little bit. They made about 7% of the total market's 24-hour volume, while stable coins made 92% of the total crypto market's 24-hour volume. Bitcoin dominance, as we can see, has dipped a little bit, and this can be largely due to the lowered volatility on BTC price that we can see at the moment. Bitcoin price, after testing the 52K resistance, is has been oscillating between the lower 51 and the higher 52K support and resistance zones. So it'll be crucial to see how Bitcoin performs in the coming days amid the halving hype. And now, with just 60 days or 2 months, barely 2 months left for the halving, there's a lot of anticipation in the market around how this market cycle would look like. In fact, a lot of people in the market, a lot of uh, spokespersons, a lot of stakeholders are expecting this cycle to be a super cycle. What that means, if you want to know, stick around for a bit longer. But before that, we'll take a quick look at the top cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin at the moment isn't gaining or losing on the daily, on the hourly, and in fact, surprisingly, on the weekly perspective as well. We can see that there's not even a 1% gain on all of these three short term and mid short term time frames. Ethereum, on the other hand, has managed to reclaim the 3K US dollar mark, which is definitely a monumental move in its trajectory. So, we will, of course, be taking a closer look at ETH price action shortly. But before that, I'd like to point out that ETH is already up by over 7% on the weekly and over 1% on the daily. There's also a slight rise on the hourly perspective, which shows that Ethereum has gained well enough price momentum on all the three time frames. And in fact, there haven't been a lot of instances throughout this year when ETH was able to perform independently. Um, Mostly it was following Bitcoin's footsteps, but now, as we see a lot of hype around a spot ETH ETF approval, and we're seeing a lot of chatter in the market about whether that will go live sometime this year, there is a lot of anticipation around that, which has, of course, triggered a price rally for ETH. While it isn't a rather monumental rally, why it's important for ETH is because the 3K US dollar mark for ETH is not just a resistance, but also a psychological resistance that once it crosses, there would, of course, be a lot of short term holders that will be in profit. And that could either aid a rally further, or with the short term holders taking in profits, we could see a tiny bit of a dip. But all in all, at the moment, we can see ETH doing rather well. Um, BNB, we can see that there's a 5% rise on the daily, at 10% on the weekly. Solana, not a lot to look forward to, merely a mere 0% uptick, 0.14% uptick. On the weekly, we can see Solana has dropped by 8%. However, anything for Solana below the 100 US dollar mark would be a great buying zone for Sol. XRP at the moment not doing much in the market. Cardano, again, not doing a lot in the market. Same goes for Avalanche, a mere 1% rise for both Cardano and Avalanche. Avalanche, in fact, has dropped by close to 11% on the weekly. Tron, not a lot to look forward to at the moment. Same goes for Doge, Chainlink, Polkadot, um, and Polygon's Matic. Toncoin has dropped a little bit on the daily perspective, and again, not a lot to look forward to for SHIB, Bitcoin Cash, and LTC. So, all in all, um, while ETH continues to make the moves that it does, and as BNB follows the rise, we will, of course, have our eyes on Ethereum and BNB. That said, we will now move to the top news of the day. One of the biggest news that came in today came in from, in terms of regulation, from UK, where England's Law Commission seeks views on draft legislation to label crypto as property. The Law Commission also called for evidence on its project on digital assets and electronic trade documents in private international law. The Law Commission, which reviews and recommends changes to the law in England and Wales, recently published a consultation on the draft legislation to label crypto as property. In fact, the Commission said very recently that the property rights are important for many reasons, including in the event of insolvency or where assets are interfered with or unlawfully taken. However, because they further added that because digital assets differ significantly from physical assets and from right based assets like debts and financial securities, they do not fit within the traditional categories of personal property. The Law Commission also called for evidence for its project on digital assets and electronic trade documents in private international law. The deadline for comments on this would be May 16th, so we'll, of course, have a clearer view as to what is going to happen with this law, and how England is going to proceed with it. In another shocking news, South Korea's most populated province is tracing and collecting around 4.6 million from crypto tax evaders. This is the Gyeonggi province tax department, which traced the crypto accounts through mobile numbers and delinquents held by local authorities. In fact, this is one of, like I already mentioned, South Korea's most populated province. They have implemented a digital tracking. They have implemented a digital tracking system for the first time in the country that has helped it um, collect access from crypto evaders. The 4.6 million collected has been from 4,390 violators out of the 5,911 identified. So at the moment, there have been over 2,300 violators have already paid their dues, and through that 4.6 million has already been collected. This this news was reported by a local news agency in South Korea. In another news from global geographies, South Africa is set to start work on stablecoin regime and will start by considering use cases. In fact, the Intergovernmental FinTech Working Group is also considering the effect of tokenization on the domestic markets. South Korea's IFWG, which is, like I mentioned, the Intergovernmental FinTech Working Group, will be looking into the use cases of stablecoins as well as their regulatory implications. The group is also exploring the effect of tokenization on markets and will publish a discussion paper by December on the tokenization policies. So that also means that by the end of this year, in December, we'll see a clearer regulation or a clearer verdict around how this tokenization policy is set to formulate. That said, we of course saw big news where Circle's USDC is quitting the Tron network. More news, of course, to follow around that. But in the meantime, if you want to know more about this in detail, go ahead and check out voiceofcrypto.online. That is our website, where you can know all about this move, this recent move made by Circle, as to where Circle's USDC is quitting the Tron network. In another news, of course, Vitalik Buterin has floated the idea of an AI based code audits. Where Ethereum project developers are all set to back him up with this idea. Uh, and Of course, Ethereum project as um, at large is experiencing the highest losses due to its extensive ecosystem and high profile projects in hacks and scams. In 2023 alone, crypto users lost an estimated 2 billion, over 2 billion, to hacks and scams. And Ethereum is at the epicenter of all of this. Owing to this, Buterin is set to or could move towards AI based code audits. We're going to wait to see how that would pan out or look like. But in the meantime, we will dive right back into the crypto market and see what the top updates are. We'll just see what the top updates are in terms of price action, and we'll be taking a quick look at some of the top gainers of the day. Jasmy coin, which is the 87th cryptocurrency by market cap, has risen by over 59%, close to 60% on a daily basis. On the other hand, we can see that Singularity Net's AGIX has risen by over 30%. The third one on the list is the Graph token, which has risen by over 20%, and WorldCoin close to 19%, followed by Render with over 18% gains, and Fetch AI's FET token with over 10% gains. The top gainers today, as we can see, is Jasmy Coin, Singularity Net, the Graph token, and WorldCoin. WorldCoin, as we already know, has been rallying quite a bit, and this happened as OpenAI came out with their new video AI tool. Um, these are the top 4 5 gainers of the day. Largely, the rally has been fueled by ecosystem centric developments happening on these particular blockchains. And in terms of the top gainers, we can clearly see that the winners would be Jasmy Coin and Singularity Net. Really interesting projects out there. And WorldCoin still continues to rally almost 20% on the daily time frame, which is again something that comes as shocker because the rally hasn't really died out at the moment. So we will of course be taking a look at WorldCoin as well in tomorrow's session, as we will be wrapping it up for this week. And this, my friends, is it in today's session. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow with fresh updates from the crypto, Web3, and blockchain market. Stay tuned, stay crypto curious, and if you haven't already checked out Voice of Crypto's recent giveaway, where we are giving away a big prize pool of $1,000, make sure that you check it out. We will be leaving the links to our Gleam campaign right here in the comments section. Make sure that you check it out. And on the occasion of Voice of Crypto completing 2 years, 2 long years in this mad space that is the Web3 crypto space, we are giving away a huge amount of $1,000 to our Web3 community. So make sure that you check it out, and we'll see you tomorrow with fresh updates from the Web3 market. This is all for today, my friends.